Okay. Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of May. We're having our admin executive meeting. Do we have any public comments, Chris?
Do we have any public?
No? Well,
Everyone
okay.
out there in TV land, please call in.
Alrighty then. Well, on to number 3 then. The status of LADWP releases in the Valley. Is that yours, Jason?
Well, I can talk about it a little bit. I mean,
Okay.
the board, as you know, passed the filing of the NOE yesterday, the notice of exemption, and as of this morning, the water had made it to the middle of the Watkins property.
Okay.
So it is progressing along. We'll have to see what happens when the weather heats up again, 'cause it's been cooler, but that's where it's at the moment.
Okay.
How many release points are there? Are there 5?
I think there's 5 total, and I think there's 3 that affect
Yeah.
right here.
Okay, the other ones are farther up.
They shut down Boulder Draw
Okay,
about a week and a half ago. The rumor I heard was the water had progressed down to the alfalfa farm, and that they were concerned that the combined flow of Boulder Draw and Sands Canyon, which was much higher than normal, were going to disrupt private property interests. But
I thought they might have to open them again depending on what the melt starts looking like. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I just asked, so there's 5.
okay,
Yeah.
well, thanks for that, Jason.
All right.
Item number 4. Has anybody been tracking what Don had been tracking with AB 606?
Have we got any good news from the state and requirements or anything like that?
No, and I don't think this is a no news is good news situation. I just think it's status quo.
Okay.
Right.
Well, status quo is better than,
Can it get worse?
it could get worse. Okay.
And I think we've even suggested that we remove this from the future agenda items, and Don was, of course, elated about that, but apparently there were some developments over the year that it was worthy of having it on here, but
Yeah, and I think it could probably fall under the manager's report, just reporting on the status of it, if any more decisions have been made, because there's not much more we can discuss about it.
yeah,
We already
we've
know,
complained.
we already complained, we already know what the solutions may or may not be.
Right.
So maybe it's something that we just want to recommend that Don gets on the agenda underneath just manager's report, status update if necessary.
It's probably sufficient.
Because otherwise the board will just go on and on and on and on.
Right. And we're not getting anything accomplished by. And there's others that might be interested in hearing what we get to hear when there is something to share. So yeah, bringing that forward to the normal district meetings is probably a good idea. Okay, and we get to review the draft agenda. I have not. I will take a quick look. Thank you for putting it together, Lauren.
Here. Director Boyd, there's 2 things that I don't know where it might go on this agenda, or you may want to consider it, as one was brought up by David St. Armand, and one of them is that when it comes to allocations being put to the, use of water by the water district, that needs to be a more formal process, which is long-lasting, rather than being able to be changed at any time. I don't know how that would happen, whether Chuck would have to approach the GA and ask them that, that if they're going to change the allocations, let's put this in writing. Let's get a vote or whatever it takes to make it, to lock it in. Because this whole thing of changing it, as you know, it changes up and down. It makes it very difficult for the district to, I would say mostly the financial end of what we're doing. Are we owed money, or do we owe money? It's a nightmare. And on top of that, another thing that I'd like to see on the agenda, and I don't know if it's going to be a specific item, you may want to lay the groundwork for it before we bring it out, is look at how we're paying the GA. Maybe a couple suggestions. One is that we don't start paying them for the replenishment fee. Don't confuse it. Extraction fee we pay, that's on a monthly basis. But the replenishment fee, maybe we don't want to pay it or start paying it until we've used up our allotment. And it prevents a lot of things. It prevents the quarterly adjustments, monthly adjustments, bi-yearly adjustments, which have to be argued for and justified each time. And which seems to me that anytime that discussion comes up, that it turns into I don't know, a stone throw, back and forth between the lawyers and the district. And I don't like seeing that anymore. What is the best way to clean it up? So my question is, I'd like to see it brought to the agenda somehow. You may say, let's just bring it up under GA discussion or maybe financial, but I think it's something that we need to look at because a lot of work is created for the district when they start to have to justify or the numbers from one month to the next, and are we going to give it credit? In fact, Ty, how did the last one go? Wasn't there, we had a credit of like 40 grand or something we were going to take over 6 months, or did we get slammed down for that one? I thought we had a credit that we were going to take over a course of time.
For the current
Yeah.
current calendar year.
I think that's what it was for, yeah.
Yeah, we had I think about 90,000
Yeah.
payment the first 4 months. So
Uh-huh.
we were looking at spreading that out over the rest of the year.
Like $9,000
Yeah,
a month.
because we were given our allocation last month, I believe.
What is our allocation now? I don't know if it's 20, is it,
4190, I think.
Yeah, 4190. I
Yeah.
believe that's the
Yeah,
number.
because we lost a couple of
So
hundred.
it went up from last year, but down from the year before.
Right.
you see, but this is what I'm getting at. And I don't know how I'm gonna leave that up to you. I think it needs to be done because we put a lot of, work on Ty and then when it comes to Don talking with the staff, they get into discussions and arguments. You have one saying, no, you can't do this, and one you can. So I like to see that cleaned up. My opinion is the easiest way to do it is either pay them after allocation is used up, or we just pay them at the end of the year. And then you can just, just have one number. Boom, this is how much we use, this is how much we owe
Settle
you.
the books when you know.
Settle the books. And I just think it's a discussion we need to have.
So what I'll suggest is, as soon as we've got counsel available, I'm thinking that this, since we don't know exactly how we want to do this, and
Yeah.
there'll be maybe perhaps a bit of controversy about the best way to put this in place, that maybe we want to initially address this during closed.
Yeah, I
And
don't,
then bring it forward to the public.
yeah, you're probably right. I think that what's gonna happen though, is you always get this, let's not rattle the cart, let's not disturb what's going on. We're all afraid of upsetting people. And for some reason, we don't tend to step forward. And so, yeah, I agree with you. Let's talk about it first, maybe as a session, especially when it comes to the legal issue of the allotment. Because to me, that may be a legal thing, because I don't know whether officially the last Prop 218 set the allotment, because it was part of the Prop 218, it was in the packet. And then all of a sudden they're changing it without a Prop 218 hearing. And then the other issue with that is maybe the adjudication will take care of all that.
It just might.
It's gonna settle all that eventually.
But in any event, let's find the way that's at least amount of effort required on the water district's behalf to keep it going, whatever it is.
And as far as the payment goes, I think that's regardless of what happens with the allotment. I think we need to look at a way that we limit the strife between the GA and the water district, and limit, monthly calculations or whatever, up and down and credit here and credit there, whatever credit, we recommend. We get fought on, well, it's not this, it's this, and it just goes back and forth all the time, and it puts a lot of stress on
He
us.
says,
Yeah,
she says.
that's one we may be able to bring forward within a discussion. Maybe I want to go to the finance committee first.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, and let them bring forward a recommendation. Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah, thank you for that. Do we have any update on council's whereabouts? I know his wife, there were some issues with her health, and
In other words, can we expect them Monday?
I have not heard anything further.
okay. I'll reach out to him and just, I don't want to bother him.
I would just text him and say, yeah, because it makes sure that if he's going to be here Monday. If not, I figured the worst case, sorry, he'll probably be on video with us. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't see anything else on the agenda.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Chris, you want to pass through the first of many who called in? Or did they already give up?
They gave up.
Okay. Good enough then. Well, we will call this meeting adjourned at 10 minutes after 3. Hey, that's not a record, but it's pretty close. I talked after that.